Welcome to the Great Indoors. And today, once again, we're in Barcelona, Spain. Hola, amigos. Yes, this is MWC 2023, and what a week we are still having. There are close to 100,000 people from across the industry and the world here to take part in, without any doubt, the biggest telecoms and technology show on the planet. It's been quite a journey, and it still feels quite incredible to have finally crossed the Atlantic as the GSMA's official podcast sponsor for this unique show. We are spending the whole week in an amazing recording facility on the jaw-dropping Amdocs booth, recording some fascinating conversations with the industry's biggest names. I'll be joined by customers, analysts, partners, and Amdocs executives as we explore their stories and perspectives in podcast form for prosperity. As ever, I'm joined by my trusty co-pilot and producer Larissa Yee as these special edition MWC 2023 episodes continue to roll out every Thursday. So what do we have for you in store today? Well, it's no secret that one of Amdocs' most valued customers is AT&T. But AT&T has a significant presence in Mexico, serving 90% of the population and with an impressive 22 million subscribers. With a population of 130 million, a rich cultural history, and abundant natural resources, Mexico is among the 15 largest economies in the world and an ever-growing powerhouse. So what can 5G and the next industrial revolution bring to this amazing country? To talk about this, my guest on this episode is Jerónimo Diez de Sollano, the CIO of AT&T Mexico, and this is just a wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed speaking to Jerónimo. He's a really charismatic and humorous guest, and he has some great stories and perspectives. And we've never had a guest from Mexico before, so this is a wonderful, wonderful conversation. So without further ado, let's get started. Here we are, MWC 2023, and I'm delighted and honored to welcome our final guest for the week onto the Great Indoors. It's Jerónimo Diez de Sollano, who's the CIO of AT&T Mexico. Welcome, Jerónimo.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here with you in this last session of the podcast.
Yeah.
I can bet that you are already tired. Everybody is walking around with tiredness, faces, and everything else.
Yeah.
It's been a hurricane on the lots of information we all got in our minds.
Absolutely.
And it's all mixed together. So we need now, I guess, some time to try to settle it down and figure out exactly what makes sense and what we learned.
Exactly. And before we get into it and all the questions, just give our listeners a history of yourself and the role that you do at AT&T Mexico, Jerónimo.
Of course. So I joined AT&T, I joined an operator 18 years ago. This operator in Mexico was bought 7 years ago by AT&T, and I was part of the acquisition.
Right.
My background is mostly on the network side, although now I'm the head of the IT department. There's this mix between what is in the network and what is on the IT side that we all knew that existed, but we were kind of skeptical on exactly where it was standing. And now it looks like with all these 5G revolution and these new year news and all the applications we're having, that is starting to really be erased.
Yes.
So it's interesting to be on both worlds because you have background on both sides. Even though we are all technical, we are all engineers, and we have fun the same ways, there are some things that work different in one side and the other. And I think that this mix will get the best of both sides.
Yeah.
So 18 years ago in AT&T in Mexico, a lot of experience on the network side, some experience leading 3 years now, leading the IT group in the IT department. These last 2 years, totally driving the digital transformation of the company, starting from the technical side and then upper, trying to push it to the business levels. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
It's been a great journey. It's been a lot of experience. a lot of human knowledge, a lot of technical knowledge, and well, that's pretty much me because
Yeah.
I'm not into football, into sports, I'm much more
Yeah.
like a technical guy that is all into gadgets and technology and stuff.
Brilliant. So there seems to be like an emphasis at the show this year about tech for good, tech for helping, humanity. Can you give me an example of something you've seen in that space this week that's made you go, wow?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for years we've been talking about the importance of people
Yeah.
in terms of in relative terms of the technology, and I mean, you hear them about the 3 Ps, the 5 Ps, and one of the Ps is people, and you hear like all these company-wide speeches at the end of the year saying, well, the people, but I think that this year is more on figuring out exactly what people we are talking about. Are we talking about the technical people, the engineers in the companies? Are we talking about the full set of collaborators in the company? Or are we talking people as humanity? And I think that that's the emphasis of the MWC 2023, is the technology is for the people. It's supposed to make life easier for all the people. And there's a huge gap on people that is really not connected. And all these beautiful technology and beautiful services we are building are not in their range of possibilities because of many reasons. And there's also a set of problems in terms of accessibility to this technology.
Yeah.
So I really think that this MWC is all about that. It's not about the people talking about the engineers. It's about the humanity.
Yes.
And how really these technologies that we are prototyping today and showcasting today will really help humanity to dedicate to more human stuff.
Yes. No, absolutely. That's a fantastic answer. And one of those technologies that gets a lot of coverage here, everybody's talking about, is 5G. 5G has been heralded as the next iteration of Gs, if you will, that will usher in the next industrial revolution or the next roaring 20s or the next period of innovation. And we've seen it play out in the United States and the race to 5G, but I'm really interested in Mexico. What's the situation with 5G in Mexico, and what do you think it can bring to Mexico as a whole?
That's a really good question. I really think that when we finalize the deployment on 5G for Mexico, it will make a difference. It will make a difference in the connectivity for all the people.
Yeah.
And that is why I really think that it was so important for us to be here today, trying to experience where the technology around 5G is heading to.
Yeah.
We started as a pinpoint in Mexico, and once we got started with that, we decided, okay, we need to have this set of ecosystem applications.
Yeah.
We need to have use cases that are not just those that are homologated around the world or in bigger places and bigger countries. We have a special situation in Mexico. We have a local currency, and the costs are in local currency, and the EBITDAs are in local currency. So we need to have local solutions for this connectivity.
Yeah.
So I really think that in wide terms, the technology as 5G will enable to have much more information flowing from each one of us as connected people to a center of processing of data that will have much better solutions for everybody.
Yeah.
For probably the government, for the cities, for the persons, for the companies, and will allow those that are already into technology to have a much better experience.
Yeah.
Not in terms only on speed and latency, which is what we hear all around here, but in terms of the kind of applications that they will be able to use, even without knowing that 5G is behind them, because the experience that they will have with all this AI stuff that is being implemented in many applications, all this virtual reality or augmented reality, all that information that is generated needs to go through 5G to reach over these big pipes of the nervous system, the AI algorithm in the core.
Yeah.
So I really think that's it's probably a very technical answer, but I think that's the way it works. If we get much better use cases for the use of the data, 5G will make much more sense for the use of the people.
Yeah.
If we just see it as somebody connected in a phone that is faster, that is not going to work.
Yeah.
The impact is really on all the data that is generated around. And well, we saw some prototypes on this MWC on clothes that are connected with sensors. Exoescalate. I don't know if the word is fine, but automated robotic legs for somebody that needs an aid on walking. Yeah. Imagine the information that you can get on those sensors to know that he's not going to fall anyway because you have the right step on the right pace, on the right position. Yeah. And if you have all that information processed, then you can tell him, hey, you need to go to maintenance. So be careful, you're running a risk that you don't want to go into. I think that as well as connected hospitals, there was a beautiful demo. You probably saw it on a robot doing a remote surgery on one of the booths.
I saw a picture of it. Tell me about it. It looked fascinating.
It was awesome. I really was shocked about it. The doctor sits in a station with VR glasses, and it's connected to a screen that is showing in 3D what he needs to see. Through a set of cameras.
Yeah.
And when he starts moving and taking all the instruments to perform the surgery, then you see, in this case, in the other side of the room, but it will be across country or in a different country even.
Yeah.
You can see how the different arms of the robot start using the different instruments to be inserted into the places where they need to go to do micrometric surgery without having the doctor touching the patient. And that was real here. Of course, it's still back-to-back, but with 5G, these kind of solutions really make sense. Yeah. If you have the best doctor ever in one country that is far away and you need an emergency surgery to save the life of somebody in a different country, that's something that we are approaching as technologists. Yeah. And that's amazing.
There's a lot of talk this week about generative AI, ChatGPT, OpenAI. I've spoken to many, many people about it. What's your thoughts on it?
I really believe that is what is going to change the world as we see it.
Wow. Yeah.
This is like, for me, this is the new big revolution on technology. And we didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Or we did. That's the thing. Yeah. I mean, we all knew that the AI was there.
Yeah.
I had my major in computing science, and when I was studying, which is a long time ago, several years, we learned about the AI algorithms. Yeah. I remember myself programming some AI routines, and then I was like, well, yeah, but this takes forever to execute. So come on. I mean, I can hang out the processor in 3 minutes. And it was frustrating. Yeah. And then I stepped away on programming. A lot of things happened. And now what I see is a real application of those same designs of AI mechanisms, but with the new power of processing and the new power of data to be fed into those same algorithms. Yeah. The result is just amazing. Yeah. And so AI is really not something new, but the possibility to have these 5G networks or 4G plus networks, the processing capacity of this huge information in the cloud, this huge set of information, that is what is really making the difference. Probably that's why we didn't see it coming our way. And we had all this wave about metaverse, and we were all talking about metaverse, and suddenly AI. Yeah. Oh my God. Metaverse it's amazing. It looks really good. It's impressive. Yeah. But then you look at AI and say, hey, this doesn't look as beautiful, but the power that it has is wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
I think that that's the real revolution.
Yeah.
Yes, AI, but with the set of ecosystem of all the technologies around it, because it feds with data.
Yeah.
Data comes from sensors and phones and electronics on other type, and then that data needs to reach the AI processing, and there's where 5G comes in.
Yeah.
So it looked like a puzzle probably a few years ago, and now it's starting to take
Yeah.
a real shape.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It's amazing.
that's the real thing.
Yeah. And it's the stuff of science fiction almost. I bet when you went back to university and you were studying, we dreamed of these things in science fiction. We saw these things in movies. And like you said, so we saw it coming in our minds, but now it's here and we're like, oh my, this is incredible, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It was like we knew that this existed as AI. We knew that with more processing, it will be faster, it will be better. But it was kind of on a shelf a little bit, at least in terms of showcasing it. Because if you look at most of the halls, you will not see big signs of AI. But when you go to the booths, most of the demos have a component on AI at least.
Right.
And there are some that are really complex AI deployments already that are producing things that we didn't thought that were going to be doable because of the amount of data at that time.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we were all looking at metaverse. And we were all amazed by metaverse. And suddenly it was like, hey, did you see the other way? And like, come on. This is really amazing. I mean, metaverse, come meet AI.
Yeah. It is amazing. It is amazing. And what do you think that can do for telecoms specifically?
In terms of the AI,
Yeah.
oh, it can do a lot of things. It can do a lot of things. In telco, to be able to optimize where the signal of our radios go, with the right frequency, with the right power, we use always a lot of data.
Yeah.
And we started a long time ago using patterns to try to identify where we should make a tweak, where should we put an additional radio or an additional antenna, and these were like static formulas. But the traffic in the networks changed so much, so fast, that we will never get fast enough if we just automate that process the way it is, with predefined patterns. Now what AI is AI is opening the possibility to have those patterns to be flexible and fluid.
Yeah.
So you get fluidity of the pattern that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And with that, you can do this kind of analysis that probably for a slice of the network will take a week, and then you go and apply the solution in 3 months. You can have it in an hour. And then you run another scenario and you say, okay, what if instead of having an additional base station, I will have 2 antennas? These kind of decisions based on scenarios can be run really, really fast and can be run with a fluid pattern.
Yeah.
Another thing that is also on our way, and I saw it in several of these booths, and I love it. It's if we continue growing the traffic in the mobile networks at the pace we are doing it, we were doing it in the last few years, we will need at least 5 times more power than today in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's really tough that we can find that amount of power just available everywhere in the world, so we can just connecting and keep connecting radios and base stations and antennas radiating.
Yeah.
So energy, at the first, we thought on energy savings as something that was just something on ecology for the environment, and we needed to do it because we wanted to have and live a better world afterwards.
Yeah.
Now is that, plus we must do it, otherwise there will be no power available to try to support the kind of traffic we all humans are generating internet networks.
Yeah.
So AI gets into play because with AI, we can do this kind of patterns analysis that are fluid, and it can identify exactly where we can lower the volume on the power on some antennas, lower the volume on processing on some places, on some processing engines.
Yeah.
And because probably you don't need it at full speed, there's not enough people at that time in the day. And then you have an optimization that goes in real time during the whole day instead of seasonality by month, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of application is really amazing. Saves money, it goes with the environment and all these pollution saving on terms of energy, and it also reduces the need on having additional energy sources for the future.
Cool. That's really good. Really good. Now, because when we were in Las Vegas and Los Angeles, we met Jeff Long from AT&T. Do you know Jeff?
I know him, very well, absolutely.
Yeah, and he's a really clever guy, and we had a really good chat with everything he's done. And obviously his initiative, or his mandate at AT&T is bridging the digital divide in the United States. Do you have the similar initiative in AT&T Mexico? You talked about, obviously, the pandemic and trying to get people connected. We talked about people right at the beginning. How is it progressing in Mexico? We've been able to give everybody the connectivity they need, regardless of their status.
We have this program with women and that are starting with a STEM career, so they can have some experience also on technology and telecommunications, and try to get them into the passion of bringing connectivity to their places.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of challenges. I can tell you that. Challenges are tough, but I think that we are really pushing to have a difference and to be able to bring this kind of connectivity to everyone.
Okay, brilliant. Now, we're coming towards the end. I've really enjoyed our conversation, Jerónimo. It's been fascinating. What excites you, if we were back here 12 months from now, chatting again, what excites you the most as where we're headed? What do you expect to see here, or you'd like to see here 12 months from now?
12 months from now, I would love to see, I think that I would love to see is much more younger people into the telco world.
Brilliant, yeah. Brilliant.
With new skills, with new hunger of knowledge.
Yes.
I think that we have a lot of technology, but I also think that there's too many of us that we've been here, I just said, 18 years.
Yeah.
So I think that it will be great to have much more younger people with new ideas to help us out, reach faster with groundbreaking ideas.
Yeah.
The gap on connectivity that can bring some different experience from a different background, not only marketeers and analysts and engineers coming here, but probably from different backgrounds with different ideas, not with this...
with the legacy mindset.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So we can also learn from them.
Yeah.
And we can see how they see the world because they don't have this bias on technology.
Yeah.
Most of the technologists like us, we just love technology. We get the best mic and the best computer and the best phone we can, and then we want, if you are in telco, then you want a radio station and the tool to optimize it, and then the analytics tool, and then the dashboard. And yes, but I think that we've been a long period of time already on that track.
Yeah.
And I really think that new ideas from a different background can force us to think much more on how the technology we are having in our hands will have a better application for humanity.
Yeah, that's a brilliant answer. And the reason why, I was speaking with Laura Dewar, the CMO of the GSMA earlier, and when I asked her what was her 3 big things from the show, she said precisely that. We need to get more young people, and they have an initiative to bring more people in and encourage more young people to get involved in technology in this industry. It's so important. I have 4 small children, and I would love for them to contribute and to be a part of what I've done in my career, or follow a similar path, because like you said, we're all technologists. We love it, right? And
Yes.
it's fun. And they can bring a different dimension. They can bring a different mindset. They're all Gen X, if you will. And it's a really brilliant answer.
I totally agree with you. I have 2 kids. I would love them to have just a view, at least, on the passion on why I do what I do. Why I spend long hours trying to learn more, to try to apply it into what I do. At this point in time, I don't know if they kind of get it. I mean, they know where I work and what I do and kind of what I can explain.
Yeah.
But without the feeling of something like this, they wouldn't understand ever why my passion is on technology.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to get to the younger generations.
Yeah.
So the passion for technology, including all the telco stuff.
Yeah.
It's probably that could be the theme on the next 12-month MWC. Younger passion for technology.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's brilliant. Really. I think we're onto something there, for sure. Anyway, Jerónimo, I've really enjoyed our time today. It's been a fantastic conversation. I've loved speaking to you. Now, the way we finish the podcast, we have a bit of fun. It's called TGI to go.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 5 multiple choice questions.
Okay.
And you just give me your preference.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And you'll see where we're going with this. How does that
Okay.
sound?
Sounds good. Is there right and wrong?
No, there's
All
no
right.
right or wrong.
Then it sounds fine.
It's fun. Okay, here we go. TGI to go.
TGI to go.
If you get a day off tomorrow at the show, from the show rather, and you had a choice of going to the Picasso Museum or the Gaudi Park, where would you go?
To the Picasso Museum.
Yeah, cool. Do you have a day off tomorrow that you can go to the Picasso Museum?
I don't have the full day off, but I hope that I can sneak out and see it.
Okay, brilliant. Now, we're going to go drinking, okay?
Right now?
No.
Okay.
Well, later on, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thanks.
Would you, because we're in Barcelona, would you like sangria or a glass of cava?
A glass of cava.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's nice. I feel like I need one now, to be quite honest with you. We talked before about sport, but if you had to watch a football game or a round of golf, which one would you go for?
Football game.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's cool.
I think that the energy on football games is really nice. I will go to
Real Madrid.
sports venue just because of the power of the people
Yeah.
trying to cheer the game. I mean, even though I don't know who is playing.
Yeah, and I just made the mistake of saying Real Madrid and then realised, no, actually Barcelona. Right? Someone will be after me for that one, I think. If you could go on holiday tomorrow on vacation and you've got 2 choices, Japan or Italy, where would you go?
I will have to choose Japan because I recently had the possibility to go to Italy, and even though I think it's awesome and beautiful, I have never been in Japan.
No, I haven't been either, actually. I think I would choose that for that reason as well. That's cool. And the final question today of TGI to go and of MWC 2023 is, you're going for dinner tonight. You can choose a guest to go with you.
Guest. Okay.
Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah?
Yes.
Why is that?
I heard that he has a much better character than Elon.
Oh, really?
I don't know if that's true, but that's probably why I
Well,
got.
I think it's probably because he's a really true technologist, right? So you'd probably get on great with him.
Yes, it sounds about right. Since he's a right technologist and he was born with this, I think that we could have much more things to talk about instead. And discuss, which makes it more worthy than just having like a conversation on very technical, deep stuff that the other is doing.
Elon, yeah. We've had Mark Zuckerberg's sister on the podcast.
Oh,
Randy,
nice.
yeah, she was charming, absolutely delightful person to speak to. And you've been delightful to speak to as well. Jerónimo, I've
Thank
really
you very much.
enjoyed having you on the podcast.
Oh, thank you.
It's been great meeting you. We'll hopefully see you again in the future in Mexico City. We can
Yes.
come down and do something there. I want to wish you a safe flight home. Enjoy the rest of your time in Barcelona, and thank you for joining The Great Indoors.
Thank you for having me here. It was a pleasure and a really nice conversation. So thank you very much. Have a nice flight home to you too, and to your kids. Share the passion on technology.
What a brilliant episode. Muchas gracias, Jerónimo. It was fantastic speaking to you, and I'm sure we'll see you again in the future. So stay tuned, as each episode and the associated guests are certainly not to be missed. I think we have 3 episodes left in this series, and it just gets better, actually. So stay tuned. Please leave a review if you feel so inclined. It certainly helps us. Visit our website, amdocs.com/The Great Indoors, where we have all the back episodes and some really cool videos that you should check out, particularly one related to Barcelona. So I think I've earned another cool glass of Cerveza. There's been quite a few. And all that is left to say is I'm Matthew Roberts for Amdocs in Barcelona, and I'll see you next time, wherever you are.